So I decided to make a game. Finally. I did some projects in my life. Some you can see in my previous videos, some I never actually showed. Maybe one day. But I never made something more. I mean, you could say I made a game, cause I participated in one game jam. But this was something different, specific amount of time, chosen topic, etc. Now it's time for something fully mine. What will be game about? I didn't make any game design document or anything. I don't care really much. It's not like it's going to be a hit or earn anything. Maybe I even wouldn't finish it at all. Who knows? I just have few general ideas what to do with this new game. It will be a roguelike game, because every roguelike that I possess started to bore me, so instead of looking for a new one, maybe it's a good idea to just try to make one. So it will be a mix of The Binding of Isaac and Pixel Dungeon. First one in terms of combat, and second one in terms of exploring and inventory management. How did I start? First thing I made were textures for tileset. I mean, two first textures. Two first 16x16 placeholders. I'm not an artist, okay? Then I put it into the engine, read something about differences between new tilemap layers and old tilemap with layers within, probably didn't understand it enough, and finally made the layers. Then noticed that I made them wrong because I didn't understand it enough. Well, into the procedural generation then. Procedural dungeon generation didn't have to be good yet. It just needed to work. Just this. And it was already a challenge. I started by making two types of room. Rectangular ones and L-shaped ones. That was just two rectangular rooms connected to each other. It seems easy, but I had some issues with creating these rooms without wall in the middle of them. But ultimately I made some conditions in if statement that I don't understand right now because I started to comment my script after I finished whole generating process, and by that time I already forgot how some older parts of the script works. But it shouldn't be a big deal, am I right? So after getting a room, I needed to distribute them somehow on the map. I decided to make another tile map with cells big enough to fit one room in them, and then randomly choose one of the tile to spawn a room in it. At the moment it worked. And then it was the time I feared most, connecting these rooms. I decided to use A-Star Grid 2D. The whole pathfinding thing was pretty easy, much easier than I expected. But everything around was causing some problems. My first approach was to just connect rooms by the distance between them. You know, while creating new room, calculating its center, add it to some array and then choose the closest center and connect them. It worked, but of course not as I wanted. My brain just didn't thought that it won't guarantee one connected dungeon, and most of the times it would generate at least two dungeons close to each other, so I needed to find another approach. And after some time I came up with another idea. The one that changes so much in code, just to change nothing in the game. I used this tile map with bigger cells and connected rooms by checking if any surrounding cell is occupied by a room. Of course the results were quite similar. I had nothing. I didn't know what to do. So I started doing random stuff and added condition that if room didn't find any room to make path with, then it should take my previous approach and connect with the closest existing room. I mean, it fixed one problem with generating lonely rooms, but the dungeon still often had two or more separate parts. And I just couldn't find a way to get information in the script when it happens. Then I decided to look at different part of the script and change a hard-coded number of slots for a room in the bigger tile map into generating the number of tiles depending on number of rooms that needs to be created. And by that, our grips stopped to have two or more empty cells near to each other. And for now it works, and I hope it will stay that way. Maybe I just should watch some tutorials on YouTube and just copy the code. But where's the fun in it? Even if it means headache and writing messy code that I will probably throw away later. Because yes, this whole script will go to trash eventually. I just need a world where I can prototype and test other mechanics. Later I think I will make dozens of different room versions and game will just randomly choose one of them. But not yet, later. Next step is player character and at least simple combat. What let's hope I will show you in the next devlog. Peace! Quick update before I upload this on YouTube. I just noticed that once every several dozen of times it is still generating this two-part dungeon. For